My next mistake is the Stairmaster. I'm so sorry to tell y'all this information about the Stairmaster. This one's a little controversial. I lost 40 pounds and I could have gotten there a lot faster had I not been doing these things. And I want to make sure you're not doing these things so that you can get to your dream body a lot faster than I did. Because if I had known what I know now, I could have lost the weight way faster with way less stress. So by the end of this video, you'll know the exact mistakes that make fat loss way harder than it needs to be, and the exact shifts that changed everything and made fat loss start coming off way faster. Welcome to Jada Land, where we eat colorfully, we move with intention, and we show up. If that sounds like you, you're a resident, so welcome home. Let's start with habit 1, because if you don't have this down, everything else is going to crumble. This, in my opinion, is one of the biggest tips ever. Skipping breakfast or not having at least 30 to 50 grams of protein in breakfast. What you eat in the morning is very critical because it could either help you to stay full and control your hunger, or send your blood sugar on a roller coaster and have you eating endless snacks all day. No matter what, my first meal of the day, whatever the first thing that I eat, is very intentional because I know that whatever I eat is either gonna make me have cravings or it's actually gonna keep me full and satiated. Protein specifically compared to fats or carbs is so important when you are trying to lose weight. Why? Because protein actually makes your body work harder to digest it. Out of all the macronutrients, protein is the hardest to digest and takes a lot more energy to break it down. So not only is your body burning more calories with the more protein that you get, that's why your protein goal is important, but the bigger reason is that protein signals fullness to your brain. Protein is a slower digestion, means it sits in your stomach a lot longer. The longer food sits in your stomach, the more full and satisfied you're going to be. So that's when we have more high carb snacks and things for breakfast, like bagels, muffins, things like that. Donuts, pancakes, waffles. Those carbs digest very quickly. Your body is not working as hard to break it down. It is not built to keep you full. So that's why a lot of times when we have those things, we want more and more and more. And it's important to note that yes, we can have carbs. I need carbs, especially for the way that I train. But I like to pair them with protein to help slow that digestion down, to avoid that blood sugar roller coaster, so I'm not having cravings all day. And guess what? Research has shown that when people eat more protein, they're eating less calories in a day. And this is by the hundreds, 300, 400, 500 calories. That's why you'll see me, even if I'm on vacation and I know that my diet may not be the best or as controlled as when I'm home, the first thing I have to eat is something high protein. I just recently went to LA and I couldn't do my normal elaborate meal prep, but I made sure I bought some cottage cheese, some Greek yogurt, and I was having that first thing in the morning. Even though we were eating a little crazy, had I just started off the day eating crazy, it would have been even worse. I actually came back from that vacation losing weight without even trying. This one's a little controversial, but one thing I stopped doing was rewarding myself with food. I really had to question, why would I be rewarding myself with the very thing that held me back for so long? I worked very hard to make a transformation. Why is it a reward for me to eat the very thing that got me here in the first place? And that's not to say I'm perfect and I only eat whole foods and clean foods. No. But what I'm saying is treating food like a reward, like saying, okay, I've been consistent for 2 weeks. Okay, I'm gonna go to wherever. I'm gonna get whatever. The second issue with that is having a bad relationship or view on food. I don't wanna look at any food as a reward or a treat. It is just food. Like if I decide to be on vacation and I have a whole mini pizza to myself, I'm not looking at that as a reward for all the months and years that I have shown up. I am just eating. And I understand that life is about what you do most of the time, not sometimes. I don't always eat like this, so I know that I'm going to be okay. It's not a reward, it's just me eating. Now this one is actually gonna shock you, but having a higher calorie breakfast has been a game changer for me, especially as somebody who snacks. If you want to eliminate snacking, the best way to do that is by what? Feeling more satisfied through your actual meals, so you feel less of an urge to snack. So initially, here are some screenshots of what I was eating starting my journey, and I was doing pretty good. Your girl was trying to get her protein in, be low calorie. I was learning all the things, but this is a really low calorie breakfast, 200 and something calories. And yes, we're getting our protein in there, but think of calories as energy, guys. Calories literally means energy. So I think of it as when I see, okay, this is X amount of calories, this is X amount of energy points. My body's gonna use those little 200 energy points up really quickly, and then I'm probably gonna wanna snack. So that was my initial weight loss journey. I was still learning all the ropes, and I just want to note that this is what works for me. I still every now and then have a breakfast that's not 400, 500 calories, but I did find a correlation between a higher calorie breakfast and not feeling as snacky. And now in my second weight loss journey, if you guys don't know, I built muscle, and with that came a little fat gain, and then I went on a weight loss journey again so that I could have a little bit more muscle on my frame. My second weight loss journey, I found that having 400, 500 calorie breakfast actually made me stick to my deficit a lot better. And I didn't feel the need to snack as much. So this was one of the hugest mindset shifts for me, because I thought maybe a little yogurt, a little Oikos, a little light and fit, 1 or 2 slices of turkey bacon, especially if you're a foodie like me. That food noise is gonna come back super fast. Again, going back to that protein, when I started building breakfasts that were closer to 400 and 500 calories, higher in protein, I stayed full for hours. There was way less of an urgency for me to snack. If you've been trying all the things, low calorie this, low calorie that, and then you find yourself snacking and ending up eating all these snacks and being out of your deficit, try to have higher calorie meals. So instead of having like 200-300 calorie meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then filling that with like little snacks and little nibbles here and there, try to have bigger, more satiating meals within your deficit still, and come back and let me know how that works. Because that's where I was sabotaging myself, having these little tiny meals, and then by 10 or 11 a.m. I'm starving. That's not sustainable. The next thing I would never do is ignoring my water intake. Now, as somebody who loves water, that's all that I drink, I still was heavily under drinking water. The rule that I go by and has helped me is half your body weight in ounces of water a day. I, like a lot of people, underestimated the power of hydration and how it affects our hunger, our digestion, our energy. Now, I'm not a dietitian, but a lot of people in the wellness community and fitness community go by the half your body weight in ounces in water a day. And let me tell you, for me, it has been a game changer. So for example, if you're 160 pounds, you want to get about 80 ounces of water a day, and that's about like 5 water bottles. And the reason why your water intake is so critical is because what feels like hunger can actually just be dehydration. I like to have 1 bottle of water before every single meal. But even more importantly, when I feel like I want to snack, especially late night, I especially like to have a glass of water, because sometimes we are literally just thirsty. And if you feel like you're going to the bathroom a lot when you're trying to increase your water intake, that happens to a lot of us, it means your body isn't really holding on to the water well. And this is where electrolytes have been really helpful for me. So electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and magnesium paired alongside of your water can help your body absorb it instead of it just running through your body. I like to use pink Himalayan salt and sprinkle that into my water, especially a water bottle that I'm bringing to the gym, and it has been a game changer. But yes, naturally, the more liquids you consume, you will be going to the bathroom more. But if you feel like you are literally always going to the bathroom, your body's probably not absorbing that water well. Along with water, another thing that I stopped was having ice cold water. Now, this is a really popular idea in Chinese medicine, that we really should not be consuming ice or cold drinks, things like that. Now, me, I love my smoothies. I gotta keep them. But I will say I have stopped having ice in my water and in my drinks. And I've actually been on the wave of having warm drinks. So there is a reason why having hot tea or hot water in the morning has gone viral. Having hot tea or hot water in the morning isn't some magic weight loss elixir, but it can help to support your weight loss in a couple ways. First, just like we talked about, it helps with hydration. After sleeping for a whole night and all the things our body goes through, we wake up dehydrated. So not drinking the first thing in the morning and hydrating yourself the first thing in the morning is actually crazy, sis. We actually need to hydrate in the morning. That should be the first thing we're doing. And if you are doing tea and not hot water, certain teas, for example, can contain a small amount of antioxidants that can support metabolism a little bit. The bigger benefit is that tea can actually help you control your appetite and your hunger. So while tea alone will not cause fat loss, it's a really nice habit to have in the morning that supports hydration. And you're easing your body into the day before immediately just reaching for food. So tea can actually curb your craving. So if you are having a little craving, especially if it's late at night, if I run out of my calories and I still feel like I can have a little something at the end of the day, I will have me some tea or some hot water. I actually love that has been going viral. Next is stop caring about burning calories through exercise. That does not matter. When I focused on actually getting stronger in my weight training sessions, because yes, first of all, weights are what you want if you want to reshape your body. I am proof of that. No shade to any other form of exercise, period. It's not up for debate. All right. So when I started focusing on getting stronger in those lifts, like, okay, I was doing 30 pounds Bulgarians with really bad form.
What is that?
We all have to earn our stripes and go through that phase. To now I'm doing 100-pound Bulgarians, focusing on getting stronger week by week, month by month, did way more for my body than saying, oh my God, I probably burned 400, 500 calories today. That does not really matter, you guys. When you're trying to reshape your body, and I promise you weight training is going to help you reshape, and you do want to be weight training, please do not be in that cardio only mindset. If you're trying to reshape your body, look lean and toned. Toned is just code for I have muscle, but I have a low enough body fat percentage to see the muscle. As somebody who went on a muscle building journey after their initial weight loss journey, I went from a skinny mini to now, at my weight goal with muscle. You want muscle. It gives you shape. It gives you firmness. It makes you look tight. Focusing on progressive overload in the gym, meaning I was increasing my weights and reps over time, getting stronger and getting better in my lifts, transform my body more than anything else. My next mistake is the Stairmaster. I'm so sorry to tell y'all this information about the Stairmaster. This is something I love the Stairmaster. I do the Stairmaster twice a week, but that's the key. Before, I was doing the Stairmaster 4 to 5 times a week, 30 minutes to an hour, in the double digits on the level. Why? When I realized, and I'm glad you guys saw this in the video where I say that less is really more. When I realized I could get away with doing less and still get the same benefits and even better benefits, that's what I did. We do not need our heart rates through the roof and to be on the Stairmaster for 45 minutes to an hour every single day. Now, yes, cardio is important because our heart is a muscle too. We have to train and we want it to be strong, and we don't want to be huffing and puffing up the stairs. And that's why I get my 60 to 90 minutes of cardio in every single week. But I am no longer overdoing it. I am no longer about to be on the stairs for 45 minutes to an hour. I am no longer trying to do the Stairmaster every single day or 5 days out of 7 days out of the week. It is just totally not necessary, especially if you are weight training. Weight training is going to do a lot for your fat loss, but you still should be implementing some cardio to take care of your heart health and to build your endurance so you're not huffing and puffing up the stairs. But if you're doing cardio solely as a means for fat loss without any weight training, you may not like your end look. It may not be as firm, tight, lean, and toned as you would like it to be. You want to remind your body through this fat loss process that, hey, muscles are there and I would like to keep them, and you do that by weight training. It's like, okay, she's using these muscles. I'm not going to take from that. I'm just going to try to take from the fat. So when you say you want to lose weight, weight is composed of both fat and muscle. You want to be losing mostly fat and keeping as much muscle as possible, because lean and tone comes from having muscle. And if you were losing that muscle at the same rate as you were losing the fat, meaning you were not weight training, not hitting your protein, because protein helps to sustain your muscles and build muscle, you may not like how you like in the end. The next thing I would do is stop underestimating the power of 10K steps. Now, I made a whole video about this for a reason. There are so many people who lost weight just by getting their steps in. And while I'm somebody who would recommend you doing a little bit of weight training on top of that, we can see that walking works. And as long as you're at least keeping your protein high, even if you aren't weight training and you're walking, that's going to help to at least preserve your muscle. Protein is really great at helping you preserve your muscle. 10,000 steps changed the game for me. Now, I was not taking it seriously at first because I was losing so much weight without counting my steps or tracking my steps. But then the smaller you get, the closer to your goal you get, the harder it is to lose weight because you're smaller. So your calorie deficit number is a lot smaller. So the amount you can eat gets a lot smaller. It becomes harder to lose weight. I don't want to be eating 1,200 calories or eating like a baby to keep losing weight. So I said, let me increase my activity level, because the higher your activity level is, the more calories you're burning throughout the day. And something as simple as walking, which you may not even think of as exercise, and that is the magic of it, can help you a lot. You could burn anywhere up to 300 to 500 calories, depending on the person, the pace, all of that, getting your 10K steps. So do not underestimate the power of that. And the bigger power within 10K steps compared to really intense cardio, like being on the Stairmaster at a high level for hours, sweating and panting, or doing HIIT style training workouts, is that it's very low impact. A lot of times when exercises are low impact, it does not increase your hunger. A lot of times when we do higher intensity exercises and workouts, we feel that hunger increase and that spike. Walking does not do that. So it makes it a lot easier to stay in your deficit than other forms of movement. My next tip is not walking after my meals. You will be surprised what a short walk after a meal will do for the body. It actually helps you digest the food better and regulate your blood sugar. And not only that, you're also getting your steps in. Even just 5 to 10 minutes can make a really big difference. Next is not taking my sleep seriously. You guys, this is something I'm still working on, but let me tell you this. As somebody has been through a fat loss journey twice, I've seen the difference in how I operate on my fat loss journey when I get like 5 hours of sleep versus like 8 to 10. Let me tell you something. There's a reason why when you get some real good quality sleep, you wake up with that morning, quote unquote, morning skinny. You have to give your body time to do what it needs to do while you are sleeping and get good quality sleep, because for one, it really does impact your hunger for the rest of the day. When we don't get enough sleep, our hunger hormone actually increases, which will obviously increase the cravings for the next day. The difference between getting 8 hours of sleep versus like 4 hours of sleep sometimes is incredible. So I feel like sleep and water are those two things that people really don't think too much about on their weight loss journey, because it's just like, oh, protein, calories, which are very important. But those two things will help to optimize your fat loss and make it a lot easier for you to adhere to your diet. The next thing I would never do is to avoid the power of a full week meal prep. So at first, I never wanted to really do full week meal preps because I was like, what if I want something different on day 3? Or what if this, what if that? I talked about this in my 90 days of meal prep video. Having your meals ready to go gives you no excuse. You do not leave the gym saying, I don't know what to eat. Okay, let me pull up at the drive-thru real quick. I don't know what to eat. Having your meals ready to go is for one, such a luxury. There was a trend on TikTok a couple of years ago where people were saying, these are the high maintenance things I do to be low maintenance. Getting your eyebrows microbladed so that you don't have to do them every day. Meal prep is one of those things. I would rather sacrifice a few hours on Sunday so that the rest of my week, I don't have to step in the kitchen at all. It does not have to be this elaborate, and you could even just meal prep your meat. But when I tell you, when I started doing full week meal preps, it made it so much easier, especially if you are a super busy person like I am. I can only imagine if I didn't meal prep the amount of meals that I would be skipping, me missing out on my protein goal, or trying to shove in 50 grams of protein at the end of the day. It has been a game changer. If you have been thinking about it even just a little bit, I really recommend that you try it at least for like a week or two and just see how you like it. My final tip is that I stop pretending that slips do not compound into bigger things. So a little handful of this here, a little this there, and then you're like, well, I've been tracking my calories and this and that. Did you track that little handful of walnuts that you had, that piece of cookie that you had? You would be surprised at how these little things add up. Even with your workout routine, okay, I know I said my goal is 7,000 steps, but I got 6,000, that's close enough. I know my goal is 10,000 steps, I got 9,000, that's cool. Those little things, those little slips, if you keep them going, they will compound over time. And no, we are not meant to be perfect all the time, absolutely not. But it's just important to be aware that the more little slips happen and you let compound, you will definitely see the effects of that over time. Okay, bonus tip that just came to my head is I stopped letting one meal cause a spiral. So if you've ever been good on your diet and then you all of a sudden slip up and then you say, you know what, this is just gonna be a whole day of me slipping up, versus just saying, okay, I slipped up, but the rest of the day I'm gonna be on track. The deeper you dig yourself into that hole of, oh, well, I already slipped up, the harder it is to crawl out. So as soon as you slip up, because it happens, immediately correct yourself. The longer you wait to correct yourself, the harder it's going to be to get on track. Believe it or not, it's a lot easier to stay consistent than it is to be inconsistent. Because one meal is like, okay, cool, let me get myself back right. But then you do the whole day and the next day you're like, well, it is a Saturday, I'm just going to relax. I'm telling you, the more you do that, the harder it's going to be to get back on track. And my final tip is I stopped treating hunger like it's an emergency. By definition, when we're in a calorie deficit, we are under eating, so we will feel a little bit of hunger. And that is okay. That is just our body letting us know that it is changing. You are actually in your calorie deficit. As long as you're not starving and under fueling, feeling a little bit of hunger is okay. So yeah, those are things that I would never do again. I appreciate you guys so much for rocking with me. If you guys want to join the community of women who are changing their lives, you are more than welcome to join. And without further ado, we're gonna close this video out. And also, by the way, guys, I am rocking a Gymshark fit. Use code Jada10 to support and save. Nobody's gonna miss you in the gym in this. I mean, this is just tea. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.